Hello. Today we are looking at views in SM2. Views are particularly important, firstly because there's a good chance you will be using them on a daily basis, and also because they serve as the foundation for several of SM2's features and functionalities. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Each SM2 module comes with a set of standard views. But of course you can create, edit, share, and hide views at will. There are two ways to create a view. The first is to create a brand new one by clicking the plus sign above the list of views on the left-hand side of the screen. The second is to simply clone an existing one and modifying the duplicate. This is the best and most efficient method when an existing view is only a few tweaks from being exactly what you need. And since you cannot edit a view shared by another user, working with its clone is the only way to make it your own. Whether you create a brand new view or edit an existing one by clicking it and hitting the notepad icon on the left, you will open this edit panel. When editing a view, you can give it a name and a description. Decide how many rows are displayed on each page. Determine whether this is the default view when opening the current SM2 module. And share the view with other SM2 software users. Your views columns can be any of the parameters listed on the left-hand side, aptly named Available Parameters. You can add a parameter to your view by selecting it and using the right arrow here, which will move your selection to the Selected Parameters panel on the right. You can select one or multiple parameters by using the Control and Shift keys. You can reorder the columns of your view by selecting one or multiple parameters and moving them through the list using the up and down arrows. This is all pretty standard stuff. But here's where things start getting interesting and fun. SM2 views can be configured to help you mine your raw data for useful insights. This is done through two features. The first is the ability to apply aggregate functions to each of your parameters. In this example, we have a 3-column view looking at fueling transactions for each year, the transaction numbers, and the quantities dispensed in those transactions. We're only viewing one product here, but you can, of course, choose to track multiple fluids. When you click one of the parameters making up your columns, the aggregate drop-down list updates to the aggregate functions applicable to that parameter. For this quantity column, for instance, we can ask SM2 to give us the total volume dispensed for each year, the average amount that was dispensed each time fuel was taken, and the smallest or biggest volume that was dispensed out of all the year's transactions. Let's go with the sum function for this example. For the transaction numbers, all we can do is count the total number of transactions, and there is no aggregate function for the year column. To add even more magic to your view, you can combine aggregate functions with subviews. Subviews allow you to embed any view in SM2, regardless of which module it's in, into the one you're working with. In this case, we have selected a view named Monthly Consumption, found in the Distributions module. Let's hit Save and see what we get. Here we see a set of rows showing data from 2009 to 2022. The second column shows the total number of transactions, and the third column gives us the total volume dispensed for each year. Now, notice this little arrow at the beginning of each row. Clicking it allows you to drill deeper down into the data based on the subview you added when editing the view earlier. If that subview table happens to have its own subview, you will be able to display it here as well. There's no technical limit to how many levels your views contain, so you can structure a view to drill down in any way and as deep as you need to. What we've shown here is just an example of how views can be configured using aggregate functions and subviews. And this is where we like to remind you that our live phone support isn't just for troubleshooting or reporting problems. If there's a view structure you feel would make your fleet life much easier, but you're not sure how to put it together, simply get in touch with our support staff. We're always happy to help. Remember, you can view our contact info by hitting the SM2 logo near the top left corner. Views are powerful tools that take you beyond merely displaying data, allowing you to gain real insight into your fleet's operation. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.